out your dicks, get ready to fap. It's time for your favorite show, The Grease Trap. Pull out your dicks, get ready to fap. It's time for your favorite show, Grease Trap.
The last Grease Trap of the long shoot weeks. We shoot in 3-week bursts. This is our final Grease Trap of that. So I feel like we could pretty much just phone this son of a bitch in, right?
I'm just gonna air hump. I'm gonna pretend I'm fucking an invisible bitch.
Scotty's gonna do that, I guess. I'm gonna tweak my nipples.
Oh, yeah, grab that hair.
Good.
All right, I busted a nut.
Not working.
I need a refractory period before I can do that again. I'm old now.
It's not working out.
Dude, I don't know if that's happened to you guys, but back when I was like fucking 18, 19, 20, dude, I could bust like 7, 8 nuts a day and be fucking like, it's still ready to go. And now, dude, you get a nut or 2 out of me, and that's, dude, I'm done. I'm like fucking baba.
It's like, well, I'm dead now. Goodbye.
All I want to do is go to sleep. You know what I mean? It just puts me in a coma, a wonderful post-orgasmic coma.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta you definitely have to like acclimate to that, you know, as you get older and shit. Like,
I guess so. I've always been fucked up about sex, dude. Sex has always been fucking weird to me. I can't help it. So
of course.
That doesn't.
I mean, that's like the weirdest. That's like the thing across the board. That's like, if something's gonna weird you out or make you weird or have like some weird aspect, it's gonna be like a sexual thing. It's always gonna be like. I've just never felt
like, even though I've been with people my whole life.
Yeah.
I've, had repeat business. So, you know what I mean, for long periods of time. So I gotta imagine I'm doing okay, but I just have never felt comfortable, like sexually, like having sex. I always feel
it's always like
weird.
Yeah.
I
know what you mean, because it's just like I'm always like, man, am I doing like a good job with this? Because you just like, you see in so many movies where like women like fake orgasms and shit, and you're like, is that happening to me? Am I just being like humored with this? And then part of me is like, just don't even worry about it. Just go have fun and shit. But I can't fucking do that. That's impossible.
I'm not even really worried about the fake orgasm thing. Like, that's on them. Like, I'm going to try as hard as I can to make you come. And if you can't and you want to fake one, you know what I mean? Like, I'm in it to win.
I get preoccupied with that shit. So that's my hang-up.
The fake orgasm thing doesn't bother me. What really bothers me is this weird, uncanny, existential kind of thought about what it would be like to have me on top of you humping away. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm just like,
that's horrible, right? Yeah.
I'm like, man, what am I putting this person through, you know, for my gratification? But none of the women I've ever been with have ever made me feel that way. It's nothing they're doing. That's just the way my brain has worked since I was a teenager, you know?
That's just insecurities, right? I mean,
100%,
that's just like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's pretty natural, I think, honestly. You know,
I've got what is, you know, I guess in America, an average size penis, right? But because I grew up looking at porn, I've got a tiny penis in my mind.
Right.
It's tiny and it can't satisfy a woman. And I'm like, it doesn't match how big and fat I am. Like, I've got a little belly button of a penis and I should have a big hog because I'm a big, tall dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have that going through my head. And then just like I've never really like been super comfortable shirtless and naked in front of people, even people I'm real comfortable with. It's like, I gotta be super comfortable with you to get, like, I'm better about the shirtless shit now than I was, you know, back in the day. But like being naked with somebody is always weird with me. And I'm always just so self-critical about what they're looking at on me or how it looks or how it jiggles. You have to give
like the like preemptive like speech, not necessarily even a speech, but just like disclaimers. Like, okay, so before I'm naked, a few things.
I've never done that. And see, here's the thing.
I've done that with pretty much every partner I've ever had.
Really?
It's like, okay,
a few things to clear up now.
I want to talk to you about a few things before we do this.
It's almost like you get on a flight. A few things before we take off.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute.
I've actually
never
done that.
You may be disappointed with the size of the penis available to you today. But You know,
I've never done that, dude. I've never. I just go with it, and in my defense with that too, no woman has ever made a comment about my penis size to me or like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I've been with people long term who've told me like, hey, I want us to try and do this, or could you do a little more of this or a little less of that? That's obvious, like healthy sexual relationship shit. Yeah. But I've never had anybody like, you are grotesque, lumpy, your penis is tiny and insufficient.
Oh my God,
you've
Paul.
never made me come. You never will make me come. You know what I mean? But that's the shit that goes through my fucking head.
Oh no, dude. See that? I'll tell you what. If your dick was truly too small, number one, the woman would either laugh at you or she would suggest like, "Well, are you good with your tongue or something?" If she really liked you, because like,
which I am.
I've heard stories about dudes with like, you know, basically the true micro penis, not TJ, where he's just his dick's not huge.
I mean, any
like
dude
a true micro penis.
Any dudes that's not like swinging a palooza and is still getting fucking play on the regular on the Reggie. Literally eats pussy, and he probably does it pretty good. Like I
try to remember that lesbians exist. It's like,
oh yeah, there's a reason.
I mean, like they don't fucking have. They don't even have dicks, and they're fucking. So
like, I mean, and I know there are some women that aren't into that shit. So setting aside that,
I mean, I'm just saying they still manage to get along. So
sure. Well, I'm saying like oral. You know, some women don't get off on it or whatever. They don't want it. But setting that aside, that small percentage of women.
Maybe there's somebody.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've never met that one, so I don't know.
I've never met one either, but I just assume they're out there.
It must exist.
Yeah,
right?
sure. It has
to. They're dudes that don't like head. You know, you have to imagine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I guess it is. I mean, it's real. It's like I don't know. I never met that either, but you know,
sex is a weird topic. It's interesting to me though. Like for a dude that's so like hung up on my own sexuality, it's really fun to talk about with people. Like not about my shit usually, but like just about general sexuality and stuff. I find it fascinating.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'll tell you what. Like, I think I think you have a classic case of you're just overthinking it, Paul. Like that, the people who are with you wouldn't want to be with you if they weren't attracted to you.
Well, that's the thing though. Is like. For me,
obviously you rationally know that, but it's an emotional thing.
I don't want to speak for Paul, but for me, like getting out of my head is like the hardest fucking escape pot. Like there's very few things.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that.
That's like, all right, now I'm 100% in this moment and I'm not being overly analytical or any of that stuff. I'm not like rattling off like all these thoughts about the situation. Like it's hard to turn off the internal commentary. Like that's why I do what I do for fucking a living, right? Because I'm just like that.
You're
constantly like, yeah, looking for the fucking stuff and like looking for the observation in the moment. And sometimes, like a lot of times that can be good, but a lot of times that can be fucking horrible. Yeah. So
it's true,
especially when it comes to insecurities, because
it's a double-edged sword for sure.
Oh yeah, that double-edged sword. Because your fucking internal critic of the world that makes you feel all like can easily be like turned inward, and then it's like, oh,
pathetic.
You're a piece of shit,
Like I've got no one else to fucking riff on. I'm gonna riff on you. No, please don't.
Don't turn inward, inner critic. Don't turn inward.
Another weird thought process I have about having sex is like, I look at all of the people that I've been with as, by my metric, fucking hot, right? Mm-hmm. Sure, and so it's always this one-sided thing of like, oh my God, this really hot person is letting this little goblin troll fuck them. You know what I mean? And I'm like all criticizing my own body, and I'm flabby here, and I got a roll here, and I got, this here. But I forget that those women, all of them that I've been with that think they're hot, are doing the same shit to their own body.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? They're looking at themselves and going like, I got too much this, or I got not enough that. And it's been like across the board. Like all of the women that I've been with have had insecurities despite being absolutely fucking drop dead gorgeous. And it's like, I can't see that, but it's a disconnect in my mind. I hold myself to a different standard than them. You know what I mean? When it comes to that shit, I am actually a weird fucking troll. They're just have a distorted way of seeing themselves. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, that's like body image issues are rough because, like, first of all, there's no objective standard of like what's good and what's bad. So you're pretty much just kind of left to your own devices. And when it comes to yourself, like you're always going to have the most problems with yourself as compared to anybody else. Like,
well, who do you know better?
Right. Because you know your body like way more intimately than you're ever going to know anybody else's. Right. And it's just like, you know, you look in that mirror and you're trapped in it. And it's like, well, every fucking flaw that it has or every perceived flaw that it has is going to be like monumental to you. Like, oh my God, this and this and this, and the stretch mark there and the fucking,
look
this.
at my, my pinky is strange.
Oh, no,
my toe.
that's a varicose vein. Oh, that's fucking toenail looks weird. Oh, these.
I'm too fat. I'm too skinny. I'm too
the
tall. I'm too lanky. I'm too. Yeah, there's just a million little things that. And I mean, and it's just how you look at it too. I mean, there's plenty of people that they're oh, I'm too fat, and then there's on the other end of the spectrum, oh, I'm too skinny. I should really try to gain some weight. You know, I need to look this way. And then you have whatever comments people make. You're then like your subconscious mind like just files that away, and it's like, oh yeah, oh you are too skinny. Yeah,
I blame.
Well, it's part of the thing.
Let me come back to that.
I blame a lot of the media, and I'm not trying to like. Say that we should fucking censor media or whatever, but I'm just saying, like, as a kid that was raised by television and movies and video games and stuff, I feel like a lot of the media is what ingrained this overarching sense of like perfection in my brain, because as even a closeted bisexual kid, the dudes that I'm attracted to are all real attractive dudes, you know what I mean? They're fit, they're I don't like fat guys. I'm not into fat dudes, you know what I mean? And so it's just like I feel like I'm fucking like I'm some sort of fucking like begging chooser.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not hot enough. Oh, you not hot enough. No. Oh yes, you'll do.
But the truth of the matter is that there's people out there who look at my body type in the same way that I look at like a twink or a hot chick. You know what I mean? They
like a bear or something in the gay community. Yeah.
Right. They like.
Well,
not even just in the gay community. I'm talking about in the straight community too. Women.
Right. Sure. Too.
Women like
There's
big
plenty of women
dudes.
like. I'm just saying, among gays, it'd be like you're a bear or whatever.
Right.
Among women, I guess there's not really a term for it, but there's plenty of women that like big dudes. Like Chelsea's like that. She would say, and like she'll tell me like, I could do with like fat or muscle. I don't want no one skinny. I don't want anybody who's like slim, because that I'm weirded out by seeing like any sort of hint of their skeletal structure or anything like that.
Ain't gotta worry about that with you, huh?
No, she's never gonna have to worry about that with me.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be a thing.
My skeleton is just like in the fetal position, floating in a bowl of jelly.
Yeah, just like somewhere in there. It's like a little tiny thing, just like. I'm in here.
Surely I exist because I can stand upright.
I'm in here somewhere, I swear. Another thing is weird about fucking insecurities and shit. I mean, not necessarily just all related to sexuality, but like just in general, it's like the whole phenomenon of you can get a million people fucking complimenting you. Hey, you're great. You're wonderful. Blah, 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 blah. Love you, man. But you get one fucking person that fucking you suck dick. Now we're way past that. Paul and I, like we've had the hate mobs come at us and shit, but it's weird that like the one if you look at like a sea of compliments and there's one negative thing, it's like your brain will way more zero in on that.
I'm glad you focus on yourself, because as we know, I'm universally loved.
Yeah, you're the universe.
I mean, like
universal acclaim, universal love. You're like Scotty's like basically like a Bob Ross.
Of course, yeah.
How do you hate him?
Figure, where everyone loves him.
But, how could you hate
Paul,
him?
Me and Paul, obviously, we
you guys
a little more controversial.
But no, it's crazy. God, I've had videos where like universally positive response, pretty much like, oh wow, I go through the comments, everyone's like, oh, we love him, oh so great, so blah blah. But then one person's like, fucking sucked, lame, you fucking totally wrong on this, and it's like motherfucker. And then that's the one that like sticks in my craw and shit.
And you have people that even
and I obsess about for
not even controversial takes, just
hours.
Like you've said shit like oh bicyclists suck. And then people lose their mind. You said, oh, soccer sucks. People have lost their mind. That was like your most controversial video for a while when you started off. It's like you made an anti-soccer video.
Yeah, that was
and a bunch of people just lost their minds. Like, I fucking hate you. You're unsubscribing. If you come over here, I'd beat the shit out of you. It's like, because you don't like soccer?
Yeah, that was pretty weird.
Football.
I just recently ran a drama op on our community just shitting on NEETs. These like not in education, employment or training folks that can't get a job and are staying home with mom later and later in their lives. And it's just like, man, dude, that touched a raw nerve. But it's just like, what are you supposed to tell people who are in that position, that people are going to respect their fucking opinion sitting at home on their race car bed in mama's house? You know what I mean? Like, is that, does filling their head with that fantasy, is that a good thing? You know what I mean? Like, a lot of these people really want to be respected, and they're able to kind of scalp a little bit of respect on the internet until somebody finds out who and what they are. You know what I mean? If you're talking about labor and then somebody asks you a question and you go, well, I live at home with my mom and I've never worked and I have no ambitions to, a laborer is going to hang up on you and just go on about their business. You have nothing to say to a person who's out there in the workforce, either as a business owner or as a fucking laborer. You don't have anything to say, politically or otherwise, to me. You know what I mean? And people don't want to hear that. They want to hear that I care about their fucking Doki Doki anime figurine collection in mom's bedroom, you know, sitting at the desk that mom bought them in 3rd grade, and fucking furiously typing on the laptop that dad bought them for Christmas last year and shit. And like, I'm supposed to like engage in a conversation with you and take anything you say fucking seriously? No. Now, that doesn't include like people who can't move out. Like, if you've got like a disability, or you're the sole breadwinner for your household, like your mom's disabled and you're taking care of a younger sibling. I'm not talking about those people, obviously.
That's completely different.
I'm talking about these literal, like, and you know they're out there, these fucking fat,
just don't want to do anything with their lives.
Mildly autistic man babies and lady babies that use mild autism, mild mood disorders, or even depression and anxiety as a total excuse that they can't be in the workforce, they can't go get a job. And I've just seen too many people with actual diagnosed personality disorders, mood disorders and shit work their whole fucking lives to buy it.
There's an anime, I guess it's a manga too, called Welcome to the NHK, and what NHK stands for changes based on the episode, but it's about a NEET who is like,
don't they call him like hikikomori or whatever in Japan?
Yeah, in Japan, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but they use the term NEET in
the
show, so cool. I guess that
maybe they translated it to that or something.
Yeah, well, they did. The Japanese have always been pretty keen on adopting like English slang and shit. But anyway, the whole premise of the story is like he's stuck at home. He won't move out. He won't get a job. He won't fucking do any ambition or whatever. But and like the reason why is because he believes there's like this web of conspiracy against him, and like he's always going off on like, it's a conspiracy, and then he comes up with this crazy explanation for like why like all of his like plans are being subverted by like nefarious shadowy people out there somewhere in the world,
right?
And it's a different conspiracy every week, and NHK stands for something different every week and stuff. And anyway, the way the show wraps up, I don't know if the manga wraps up the same way, but the way the show wraps up is like eventually the people financially support him just stop, and hunger compels him to go out in the world and get a fucking job.
I mean, yeah, that's
I think it's probably the solution.
If people are lucky, you know what I mean? Like, I was lucky because I was telling people the other day, like, I was on my way to neathood. Like, I was sitting at home, not working really to speak of, working a part-timer, you know what I mean? And fucking pretending to go to school and basically, you know, playing Ultima Online, EverQuest, and fucking StarCraft for a living. Sitting around smoking weed with my friends at 3 a.m, and then sleeping all day while my parents were at work. That's what I was doing, right? And I was fucking 18. And my parents weren't going to have that shit. They kicked my ass out right before my 19th birthday. You know what I mean? And thankfully they did, because it's because of that I have a voice politically, that I can walk into a room full of laborers and talk to them, because I have experience in the labor space, because it's through that I met you guys. You guys think I would have fucking ever like pursued anything if I just sat there and played fucking video games and eating fucking Totino's pizza rolls every goddamn night?
You
guys wouldn't even know I exist. I wouldn't have ever done a YouTube thing. You know what I mean? All of that was born from me not liking the way things were, and I had to speak out. You know, I had to fucking say something to these Christians. I had to say something about this political fucking thing. I had to make my voice heard because I felt stomped on, you know what I mean? And all that came from not being suckling at my mama's titty, you know?
I think that there is a natural inclination in human beings to, you know, take the path of least resistance. I think that in order to like stoke the fires of ambition within yourself, there has to be some idea that you can get ahead in the world.
Yeah.
That there's some chance of like moving up.
Well,
And I feel like as
that's right.
the idea of moving up in the world has kind of diminished.
Yeah.
For, like,
well, I'm not even really
reasons.
talking about moving up in the world. I'm talking about bettering yourself as a person in general.
Right, sure. But I feel like people feel like why am I going to participate in this fucking rat race when I could just sit at home and eat fucking the pizza roll? And it makes sense in a short-term kind of way, but in a long-term way, it really doesn't.
No, and it's also, and this is something to think about too. It's also incredibly, incredibly selfish because what are they? Those pizza rolls? What do those represent?
Those represent labor. Yeah, that represents the labor of your parents too.
Yeah, mother's retirement. So money that her mom, that this person's mom could be setting aside for their twilight years after working their whole lives is being funneled down their gut in the form of pizza rolls and electric bills and internet bills and microtransactions, and it's being shit out into the mom's toilet and flushed with the mom's water bill.
But those moms and those dads are usually enablers.
Oh, absolutely.
Behavior because
they have to be.
So I mean, like, really, and like, it's like a lot of. I mean, at least half of it is on fucking them. To be honest with you,
they have to be enablers. They would. Otherwise, the kid would be out doing their own thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't blame NEETs, but look, dude, if you were raised by a parent like that, and you're frustrated and stymied by the fact, like, I wholeheartedly believe a lot of these incel people are people that expect somebody to come over to their mom's house and bob on their dick. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to do that.
Well, the incels are fucking particularly because they first of all, their idea about what kind of sex is just distorted by
they have a
media basically.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy with
and they think that they really it's literally. I mean,
I'm black-pilled. I'm never going to be any good. My life is over when I'm 18 years old.
It's
all I'm saying is I imagine that the NEET Venn diagram and the incel Venn diagram have a pretty large area of overlap.
Oh, I'm sure. So my
I would agree with you.
My ex assistant Peyton, who still does some research stuff for me, but I don't have him in full-time employee anymore.
Yeah,
because he went and got a different job, which is fine. But he works and stuff. He's not a NEET, but he's kind of an incel. He doesn't really describe himself that way, but he is a virgin, and he's not ashamed of it.
That
so I'm
doesn't
not,
make him an incel, though.
But well, no, it doesn't make it. Well, non-voluntary. I mean, he wants to get laid, but he's not he's not an incel in the sense he's not putting pressure on himself about it or whatever. He's not ashamed of it or anything. So I'm not
he's in his 20s, right?
Yeah.
He's not.
So I mean, whatever. It's maybe a little taking him a little while, but I'm sure it'll happen for him eventually and whatever.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure it will.
Neither here nor there. But the thing is, I can tell you right now, part of the reason why it has not happened is because he has at least one characteristic of the incel, which is the standards way out of proportion to where you actually are.
Yeah, the beauty ideal he holds is we were having my model.
Yeah, we were having my birthday party, and he's like,
Peyton,
let me show you my taste in women. This is I like humble girls.
She's modest.
A modest girl.
And we're like, all right.
Okay, let's take a look. And this he literally shows us a picture of big titty, big ass, perfect, flawless skin.
Like a buxom, Instagram
beautiful hair,
model with
perfect face, no blemishes, nothing.
Obviously photoshopped to some degree.
Photoshopped to hell.
That'll go out. See, here's the thing. He doesn't actually have those fucking standards. That'll go out the window the first time a normal woman touches his penis and he explodes.
Right.
That'll be it. You know what I mean? He's had nothing but his entire life to sit and imagine sex and what it's going to be like to be with this type of woman. A woman that doesn't look like that is going to come on to him and he's going to take her up on it. And he's going to realize that it feels just as good to have somebody that isn't fucking Instagram model hot grab your pee-pee and jerk it and put it in their vagina. You know what I mean? Than it does to have one of the people that's Instagram model hot do it, bro. Yeah. Pussies feel the same on the inside. That's just the way it is, man.
Pussy good. Pussy good.
I don't know, but you can't. I don't know. It's one of those things that I was real harsh about it because, of course, I'm trying to trigger a reaction rather than
Paul. What?
Yeah,
no. Paul.
But I don't think that I was.
I don't buy that.
I don't think I was unduly harsh though. I was just using language I was just telling him that no grown ass adult wants to hear advice or input from somebody who sleeps on a race car bed with model airplanes hanging above their head. Fucking, you know what I mean?
No, you're
Sorry,
right.
if
I
your
mean,
mom's-
really, truly.
If your mom's
Yeah, I
paying
mean-
your bankroll, you may not be a bad person, but you really got nothing to say to me as a worker, business owner, political figure.
Where's the shared experience there? I mean, like, there isn't any. If you're talking about like labor movements, if you've never had a job, it's like you don't really know. You know, like how could you? How could you
Right.
possibly understand what those people are going through? I mean, maybe you can do it on a rational level. Maybe it can be explained to you, but the empathetic part that you're going to have with people and connect with people on an emotional level is not going to be there.
It's just
and
like-
I think a lot of people have that lack of emotional maturity and intelligence to understand that with people where it's like, I'm going to lecture you on this thing that honestly I know nothing about.
I have no basis on it. I read the wiki article on it, and I want to lecture you who's been living it for fucking 25 years.
So it's
You know
like,
what I mean?
fuck off.
Right,
You know, come on.
exactly. But that's kind of my point. I feel like a lot of these people like are in a cake and eat it too kind of situation. They want to sit at home and take the path of least resistance, like TJ said. But they also want the respect that comes from forging your own way. They want to like walk up into your conversation and be like, "Hi, I live on a race car bed and I like Joe Biden," you know, and it's just like, go away, shoo.
All right.
Get out of here.
The adults are talking here, but online they can get away with it. Tons of these neats are online, boisterous, big political. Oh yeah, Paul's fucking ridiculous from their race car bed, bro. I'm ridiculous from your mom's race car bed. How's that even a thing that an adult should take seriously? And just because you can obfuscate it on the internet doesn't mean that as soon as people find out what you are, they're going to walk from you. Because what do you got to offer a person out there working? Nothing. And like if people don't, you can either have that, you can have your fucking greased path of living with your enabler mom until until she either passes away or can no longer support your ass, and then you're fucking 30, 40, never had a job. Good luck with that. That looks great on a resume. I'm literally 40 and I've had 2 part-time jobs and I just got kicked out of my mom's house. Don't look good. Looks a lot better. Hey, I'm 18 and I'm trying to make it. But hey, you know, you do you. So watch the years go by. I'm 20. I'm 25. I'm 30.
I think it's not even just living at home, because I mean, look, a lot of people in a lot of countries, like, they're very expensive to buy housing, or you have to pay cash. You know, there's a lot of reasons why I understand people not moving out, but it doesn't mean their lives are on hold.
They should be contributing. I understand if it's like you live in an area and you can't get out of it right away. If you're staying at home with your mama, you should be paying rent. You should be paying your food. You should be paying every bit of your own way that you can.
Exactly. So I don't even think living at home is necessarily like, look, some people are helping family members and other things, and we've already covered that. But I'm just saying, like, just because you live at home doesn't mean you have to even be like a parasite. Like, okay, I'm saving up to buy a house, but I'm contributing here. I'm paying rent. I'm living my own life.
Saving up, you know, I'm paying rent and I'm helping mom with the bills, but I'm saving up what I can to get a bus ticket to an area where the labor market is better and rent is cheaper. You know what I mean? So I can move out on my own and get a job or something, or whatever your plan is. But I'm not really talking to those folks. If you're paying like a decent portion of the rent where you're staying with your mom and your, you know, midterm goal is finish school and get out or whatever.
You can't just say like living at home is the excuse there with those people either. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you're saying that, but I'm just saying like those people like, oh, well, I have to live at home because it's expensive here. It's like the what I'm talking about. We're talking about people who are just sitting around doing fucking absolutely nothing with their lives, not bettering themselves with education or knowledge, who are not fucking working, who are not like, so it's like the question is like, what do you really do with your life? I guess you have every right if you don't want to do anything with your life.
Yeah. And people that say it's too expensive to move out. There's this thing called a roommate. I had them till I was in my fucking 30s to subsidize my fucking rent. So
yeah, it's true.
There's plenty of people out there looking to go halvesies on a fucking 1-bedroom or whatever. You sleep in the living room, I'll sleep in the bed. I've lived in that situation for years in Arizona. I lived that way.
Yeah.
Or maybe you can take advantage of the fact that you're not currently paying rent because you're living with your parents. And like save some money up to do that.
Yeah, save up a bunch of money because you have the benefit of them paying the lion's share of the bills.
Go get a job, maybe like kick like 20% of it or whatever to your poor fucking parents who are still taking care of you when you're 23 or
stuff
27
every
or
other,
you are.
You know, set aside a little bit to spend and have fun with, and then every other penny goes into your fucking move out fund.
Save it up and get the fucking money together to fucking get yourself a start.
But people don't want to hear this.
Find yourself a fucking roommate. I mean, it's not that. I mean,
they want to lean on Marxism and anti-capitalism as a way to justify their non-participation a lot of the times too.
I mean, I think
why would I go and join the capitalist fucking machine and shit, as if that's what this is about, bro. You don't have a political voice unless you're arguing from within the system.
You're still being sustained by that machinery, just by proxy. So
check out this analogy that I came up with. I was like, how are you going to comment on American politics when you don't even live in America? Dude, you live in a monarchy. Your mom is the queen and you're the serf. And you get whatever is fucking given to you. You don't have, when's the last time you were impacted by a political decision? Why am I going to listen to anything you have to say on this subject until you're out there with your butt on the line like mine is?
Yeah.
It's a lot different perspective. I mean, and it's I think it's hard for a lot of those people too, because they've only known that their whole lives, because they just haven't grown up. If we're being honest, they just haven't grown up past that point to realize life is much different. You're not looking to mommy and daddy for every little decision you're going to make in life and to support you and to take care of you. And it's like, look, it's just different. You don't understand that till you go off and do some on your own. And doesn't necessarily mean on your own in a physical sense, just means on your own in some sense. Like, just stop living on the internet. Stop living vicariously through other people. Like, the internet's not a nice place. I love the internet. There's a lot of great things you can do on it. But if that's your life, that becomes a problem.
Oh, that's a huge problem.
It becomes a very big fucking problem for you. And I'm not even saying like you have to have some amazing life. You have tons of friends to do this. You live some idealistic life. It's like, just go outside once in a fucking while. Like, expand your horizons. That's why people like to,
volunteer at a nonprofit. Fucking join a D&D club or something that's adjacent to one of your nerdy interests and go out and meet some new people. And hey, maybe that might lead to a job or a relationship or something that isn't sitting at home and parroting other people's views.
And that's one of the things I think the biggest trap for a lot of people is potential. Oh, I have potential to do so much. Like, yeah, but potential doesn't add up to shit if you don't do anything with that potential. Right. A lot of these people have great potential in their lives and they could do so fucking much. I mean, we all take a page from that. But if you're not doing anything, it's like I think the worst thing about that is the people that suffer the most is them. Like, I know they're poor fucking parents, but their parents are just like, whatever. I've dealt with this for 20 years anyway.
They had the kid in the first place. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's like, whatever. But like with you, it's like that person is not doing anything with their life. So it's like usually those people have deep depression, a deep sorrow, deep insecurity, a deep fear to not go out and do anything because like, oh, I might look bad or I might look stupid or I might fuck up. And it's like, you're going to do all those things, but you might as well just live your life and do those things and enjoy something and find something that can give you a measure of fucking happiness on the finite amount of time you have on this fucking planet, which is all you get for, as anyone knows, is all you get. You don't get any more time. You're wasting your time. You're wasting that precious fucking gift you've been given and doing nothing. And I know some people have the harder circumstances, like they have deformities and they have other fucking problems where life is not just as clear cut. But if you don't have those problems, you have no fucking excuse.
Well,
you really don't. It's not even about wealth. It's just about bettering yourself as a human being.
Depending on the problem, you don't have an excuse. There are blind people that live in autonomy. There are deaf people that live in autonomy. There are paraplegic people that live in autonomy, relatively speaking.
As much as they can.
Right. There are dwarfs like Peter who live in autonomy. They work jobs. Peter has been employed his whole fucking life.
Flown all across the country to come to meet
on his own dime.
Yes.
So you're going to tell me that Peter can do it.
But you can't.
But you can't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I don't buy it, bro. And maybe that's a boomer perspective. A lot of people were bringing that up. Oh, this is boomer speak. This is the way boomers talk. And I'm like, well, you better be glad that your mom has a boomer perspective on keeping a job, because if she didn't, your ass would be in a fucking group home or some shit. You know what I mean?
It's a fair point to say. I mean, it's like, look, we can wish the world to be one way, but your parents are still out there. Whoever it is supporting your ass is still having to go out there and be a cog in the machine.
Right.
That's why it's like incumbent upon you to do it. It's like, no, does anyone enjoy it? Fuck no. No one enjoys.
I love the people that think that you use the excuse, like, I'm doing it because I'm a non-participant in capitalism, as they're sitting at home eating mom's Totino's pizza rolls and watching mom's
is your
TV,
mom a participant?
And on
is she
mom's internet connection, using mom's cell phone that they bought them, all got with the ill-gotten gains of capitalism. So they're fine with benefiting from capitalism, but they're a non-participant.
Yeah,
fuck off, you lazy fucking piece of shit.
Just like, look,
what's mental gymnastics?
I don't like I don't like capitalism either. I don't think this is the ideal system.
But you're pragmatic enough to realize.
Don't lie. You kind of like capitalism.
I mean, I like certain aspects of capitalism. I like markets.
I like parts of capitalism. For sure.
I'll tell you what I like about capitalism. I like a marketplace. I like the idea of money. I like currency as a proposition. I think that it makes more sense than trying to trade goods directly and services directly.
Sure.
So I think there has to be some kind of placeholder there.
There has to be some like intermediate
the utter
thing that everyone agrees
elimination?
on.
What about the elimination of currency though, and just moving towards a resource-based economy?
I mean, I feel like we had that prior to
no,
this.
we didn't. We didn't have an organized resource-based.
Not organized,
economy.
but okay. So I'll lay out the analogy I use. Basically,
Okay.
We can kind of go back to because before currency, it was like
Barter,
right?
Yeah.
So what is the difference between a barter economy and a resource economy? Because it seems like it's just a fancier way of saying barter economy.
Well, a resource-based economy kind of precludes us having multiple nation states. So it kind of needs us to
I'm fine with
globalism,
sure.
right?
Right.
So rather than try and I'm just going to read from resourcebasedeconomy.org.
Sure.
So while our present economic circumstances have helped us usher in our technological potential to manage scarcity, it's clear that this system no longer keeps pace with the ability to produce abundance. What we are confronted with now is the monetary system creating artificial scarcity in order to maintain ever-increasing profit. A global resource-based economy uses the intelligent and humane application of science and technology to provide abundance for all people. So...
so it's just techno-communism, basically. Like we're going to use modern technology to distribute resources.
It's basically techno from each according to their ability, to each according to their need.
Okay, I mean, fair enough. If we can make that system work, I think it'd be fine too. I don't think there's any problem with it. The issue that we got to get.
Sorry, I sidetracked you, but.
The point I was trying to make is whatever monetary system you're in favor of, capitalism is what exists now.
Right.
Like that's what the world is.
Yes.
You not participating in it does not do any harm to capitalism. Capitalism ain't going to shrivel on the vine because your ass stays at home and eats Tostino's pizza rolls, okay, on your mom's
protesting.
I'm protesting the corrupt it. No, you're not.
So
you're
this is
actually not. You're just sitting at home. You're eating Tostino's pizza rolls. You're playing fucking World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
everything you're doing and consuming, you're still participating in capitalism. You're just doing it by proxy through your poor mom. If anything, you're exploiting her labor at this point. You're not an anti-capitalist.
You're actually
a
more
parasite upon someone who's trying to fucking.
You're actually a bigger capitalist than she is, because you're trying to do what the owner class does. You're sitting back and letting someone else work for you, make you money, and go, okay, mom, well, so
shit. If anything, you're a piece of shit at that point. You've become the exploiter. So get your ass out there and get a fucking job.
Right.
Join the labor force, fucking bring your fucking pro labor ideas into that labor force, and then speak them from a position of actually know what the fuck you're talking about.
And honestly, see how those ideas might change once your fucking ass is on the line. See what you really believe.
Sure.
Yeah, because you might feel differently.
A lot of these people are taking, and we've talked about this before, like they take the philosophical daddy fucking syndrome that goes on here, where it's like they take some smart person online and they basically listen to what that person says and recontextualize the take in their own head and spew it, right? Well, it's just like 99% of the people that they're listening to work for a living.
They ain't got no ass on the line, though. That's the problem. Is they ain't got no skin in the fucking game at that point.
Right.
They're just I say things online. It's like, what do you risk?
But the people that they listen to have skin in the game, but they don't, and they want their cake and eat it too. They want to take that person's lived experience and make it their own without actually having it. And so they can never understand it. They become horrible at defending it. And it cheapens the good ideas that come along to have these bobble-headed, know-nothing, home-stuck sycophants going,
Yeah.
And that's what's going on.
I think we've seen all those ownage compilations for that reason, is that someone internalizes something, but then when they try to speak those ideas they've internalized for someone else out, which, I mean, look, we all done it to some degree, of course. I mean, if you've read a book or whatever,
sure, everybody. I mean, like
everyone does.
We've all picked up ideas from other sources, but then it's like your shared life experience. Like, it's supposed to be like a bunch of variables that come into like. Then let's talk about this issue. If you're going to do that, that's going to be your profession. So I've watched.
But if you don't have that wealth of knowledge and experience in your own life to draw upon, you're drawing upon someone else's, and you're giving a secondhand,
you're a
probably
child.
very poor account. Yeah.
I watched a show on Netflix called Money Heist that was made in Spain. And like part of me after watching that, and I had to work to suppress this, was like, I understand Spanish culture now. I understand Spain.
It's like Spain, my old friend.
My like a gut level, I'm like, yeah, I get Spain. I get what that's all about. Intellectually, I had to be like, no, that's stupid. You just watched a fictional TV show set in that country. It might have enhanced your knowledge of Spain somewhat, but you certainly do not understand Spain based on watching that show. And now I'm watching a German show, and I'm like, these fucking Germans.
I know German.
I understand what these Germans are like. You don't understand. Like, you cannot just like walk into something and then the first little nugget of new knowledge that enters your mind, like, oh, well, I'm an expert now. Oh, yes, of course, I get this. It's like, no, you probably don't. You can't just be like, you get like a little taste of something that someone else is steeped in, and then you start acting like, oh, well, you're. But you also have lived long enough to
experience this. You've lived long enough to realize that, though.
Explain it viscerally to them is what I try and do. It's like, it's the difference between watching somebody with a real high quality GoPro on their head scuba dive and being there yourself, being the actual person who's under the water, feeling the cold around you, feeling the fish swim against your body, being able to touch the wildlife and move where you please, right? That's
I watched a bunch of episodes of that show, Forged in Fire, and I learn a thing or two about like how to do like
how to bang on a metal thing.
Yeah, like I learned some shit. I learned how you do the hardening of the fucking shit. The
Damascus,
called, actually. Yeah, I know about Damascus steel, what that means, and like different techniques. But shit,
fold it.
I couldn't fucking go and like forge something if you told me to.
Of course not.
I didn't learn enough watching that stupid show to be able to like forge a blade.
I am now the greatest forge master of all time.
I couldn't do that shit. So like, it's like kind of like that. Like, you can't just experience something vicariously through like a talking head
and then give advice on it.
But that's become
then be like,
well, that's your life though. But that's your life for some of those people. Like a lot of them, that's their lives.
That's their window on the world.
That's how else do you really contextualize the world? That's how that your conception of the world is that. Until you think, and the people you communicate with think the same way generally. Not always, of course.
Now, if I wanted to be like, hey, I know a little bit because I've done a little research and I want to talk to someone who's in a position of total ignorance, that's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But if there's someone who's like, I know a little bit, but I want to fucking hold my own in a conversation over something, like, I have a perfect example of this in action, actually. My dad one time met a guy who was an actual ice road trucker, right?
Yeah.
Actual ice road trucker. My dad kept fucking like an idiot being like, yeah, I seen that show. Yeah, I seen that show, man. That's crazy. I seen that show. And the guy's like, yeah, I've done it. I actually was there. I did it. Yeah, that show, that's crazy. And like kept trying to act like he was on an even plane. Like, I saw the show. Come on, like,
yeah, I know the danger.
You did it. I saw it. It's the same. It's like, no, it's actually not the same.
No,
a little bit of difference there, a little bit of separation.
But it's strange. Yeah, that is part of this too. It's like this idea that people don't understand the value of lived experience because they don't have it. It's like, how do you understand the value of even getting burned or learning something the hard way, dude? I wouldn't take back a single fucking thing that's happened to me when I've gotten fucked over or done dirty in my life, because you know what it taught me? How not to get done dirty in the future, how to peek out for getting done dirty. You know what I mean? So in my 20s and shit, dude, I had all kinds of people that were suckers on and hangers on and booty chatter behind my back. And I ignored it for a while. But you know what? I learned that ignoring that shit just leads to more of it. And so I learned how to cut people out of my life and fucking prune down my friend group. I don't keep people around me that are shit. And if I find out they're shit, you know what I mean? But that's a lived experience fucking position.
Oh, you're totally right about that. I mean, especially, I'll tell you what, when we did the DP days and shit, just the people, not talking about people on the show, just talking about the people, like tertiary people around, where it's like, you just find out like, oh yeah, I'll talk to this person. Oh, this person's just a backstabber that just wants to just pump you for information and pump you for this and that. And I'm like, and you just learn that about people. And then also in personal life, you just learn about it's like, and I've seen it, I just say this all to this day. And it's like, I'll have people online like, oh, well, yeah, I know you. I'm your friend. It's like, motherfucker, I never met you.
It's so
Like, what are you
weird.
talking about? It's like weird shit like that, dude. And it's like the just disingenuousness. I mean, like as far as like a social guard, yeah, you got to fucking pull the weeds out. You
Dude, I
got
was
to pull
talk-
those fucking people out.
I was talking to this dude on Twitter, and we were arguing back and forth about some shit. And at the end of it, when I basically told the dude, like, fuck off. You're fucking wasting my time. He responded with, Paul, I love you, dude. I hope you really know that. And I responded with, like, that's fucking weird. Because it is, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I don't love you. Like, I don't know you.
I
like,
love you, Paul.
I love you, Paul.
I love you.
Just like,
It's
what?
It's really just sad. And I'll tell you, a lot of those people do fall into the category of people we're talking about now. That those issues where it's like just living online, just like that's your life. And I mean, like, look, I understand the escapism. I understand that there's times you just want to get away from your reality because you don't enjoy it and you don't like it. But I think if the ultimate question why you don't like it is it something that you have control over or not? I mean, to some degree, no. If I hate the world, I hate the way things are done, then yeah, you have no control over that. But the things you can control, you should try to control and do as best as you can do for yourself. And if you don't, you're gonna be miserable.
Check out our buddy here.
God.
Check out Schnob Ryder, dude.
Dude, Rob Schneider, please.
Give me a fucking look at this dude.
Look at that
Just say
mustache
no.
he's fucking sporting.
I know.
now.
Thinks he's fucking Wyatt Earp or something.
Yeah, dude, Rob Schneider, it doesn't fucking masculinize you any further. You may as well take that cookie duster off your lip, you dumb bitch.
Just say no and keep saying no. Over half the U.S. population is continuing to say no to this unapproved experimental gene therapy. My body, my choice. Hashtag Second Amendment is for this.
Oh my God, dude. And look at the engagement on this. This is a dude that was on fucking SNL.
Yeah.
This tweet has actually been taken down.
Oh, it has?
Yeah.
So this is
I'm
this is
seeing
just
an update.
this is someone who has retweeted an image of it.
Got it.
Basically.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because if you say anything about COVID-19, I think I made a joke about my cat getting COVID-19 or the vaccine, and it was taken down. So you're not allowed to make any jokes about the COVID-19 vaccine. If you say anything that's even could be construed as negative, it's getting pulled down.
Let's see if we can find.
Oh,
The original tweet is still up.
Oh, that you're looking for the actual tweet.
He's going batshit on Twitter. He's like tweeting every fucking 2
Oh
minutes.
my God, he's a nightmare, dude.
Still in the works. Let me know. Wait, Rob, when is your movie where you turn into a stapler coming out? Oh yeah, for South Park. Where is
Be an
that?
improvement.
Where's that
Rob
fucking
Schneider
tweet?
is the stapler.
Carlson, the stapler. This guy tweets like fucking crazy. Okay, there's like okay, I guess he took down that initial tweet because probably.
I mean, but there's
They
just
made
nothing
him.
but anti-vax shit on his channel.
Oh, dude, he does this shit all the time. I follow Rob Schneider just for this reason, and pretty much every time he pops up my feed, it's some anti-vaccine shit.
What a weird focus for Rob Schneider's career at this point. Oh wait. Oh yeah. Okay, here's the original tweet. It's a quote. He's quote tweeting someone else. Issue.
Corona.
Just say no. Keep saying no. Over half the U.S. population continues to say no to this unapproved experimental gene therapy. My body, my choice. Hashtag Second Amendment for this.
Dude, does Twitter have a fucking anti-vax policy?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think they do actually.
Like
They
fucking
do.
just, dude, I'm gonna go fucking report this bitch.
Blue check mark.
Like they got a blue check mark, dude, like pushing anti-vax shit during a pandemic on Twitter.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
Probably because no one gives a fuck about Rob Schneider.
I'll report it too. I don't give a fuck.
Fuck him.
Let's see. Suspicious or spam, abusive, or what would it be? Abusive or harmful? I guess.
Misinformation should be on there, right?
There's got to be one that says that, right?
Let's see.
Threatening violence or physical
No.
harm, sexual harassment. No, none of those.
None of those. Go to suspicious or spam. That's what it says there. No.
I actually don't see anything for misinformation on their thing, so maybe it's not against policy.
Oh, they're allowed to
Well,
misinform.
COVID-
Well, they took a bunch of people down for that.
I don't know.
Like,
I
they
don't see
took a
any way
bunch
to
of,
report
like-
for that.
Oh, well, whatever. I guess anti-vax doesn't count.
No one cares anymore. Yeah, there's literally no like this is misinformation. Not that I see anyway.
Yeah, I ain't blocking Rob Schneider, but fuck him. No. Rob Schneider is targeting impressionable morons.
Yeah, I'll report it for violence for the whole Second Amendment is for this thing, I guess. That'll be that's
Too
the
many
closest I can get.
trolls. Report and block. Report and block, TJ.
Too many trolls, report and block. Too many trolls, they can suck my cock.
I'm
That's all you get from
I
Rob
had
Schneider.
this like policy on Twitter for a long time of like muting people so they didn't know that
Paul C. Yeah.
but like I've gotten into too many conversations that go nowhere. I'm just gonna start blocking people now.
That's why I came around to that conclusion a while back. I at first I was like, I hated that they would like trot it out there and be like, I won because he blocked me.
Yeah.
Look, I annoyed someone until they blocked me.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not a victory, but
I don't care anymore.
People treat it like that, but like, I just want them to know, like, I'm not listening to a fucking word you say.
Yep.
I used to like the idea of like them talking into the void, but I got to the point where I was just like, no, I want you to know that like, fuck you.
I don't
Shut
hear
up.
you.
I don't give a fuck.
Nobody sees you. Nobody cares about you. Like you're just blocked. You're fucking just done. And go ahead and make your tweet that gets one like from your one follower about how you pwned me for blocking me, dude. For blocking
Beautiful stuff.
you. No, I just started doing it. When I see people that come at me immediately with this like fucking disingenuous, shitty, trollish, fucking uninformed shit, I just block. I just block them. And as a result, my fucking tweets have been more readable recently. How crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah. The people with the axe to grind. Yeah. It's like, it doesn't matter what you say to them anyways. There's no possible thing you're going to say to that person that's going to change their opinion. They've already made up their mind. The most they're going to do is try to drag you into some sort of internet argument with them that's going to go nowhere because, you know, let's say it's a union position, Paul. You're not going to suddenly go, well, you know what, random internet guy? You're right. I abandoned all of my beliefs.
Dude, you guys want to see what this hacker sent to me, bro? This 4chan hacker.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Let's take a look.
Let me see if you guys can see this.
Oh, fuck. 4chan hacks, dude. You're
Can
done.
you guys see it there?
You should have expected me. Oh, fuck.
Do you guys see it?
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Hello, Paul.
Here.
I'm an edgy, unemployed McDonald's worker. How's your little ego trip been lately? Anyways, catch you on the flip side. Peace. Hello, Paul.
Wow.
What's going on there, dude? Can somebody help me?
Terrifying.
I am an unemployed McDonald's worker.
Check this, Paul.
Okay. Is that the guy that has the hate boner for you?
Maybe.
I don't know. It might be. I don't know. I can't tell.
I think it was that dude. Because he sent me a.
Yeah, it's probably the same dude.
I think it is.
Check this out. This is like all the heat records that were broken this June.
Jesus. Once
This is,
again, dude, this is another graph that looks like America has the fucking smallpox or something.
Yeah. So they have 1,238 daytime records broken, I think. And then this is 1,503 nighttime temperature records broken. So actually more nighttime records broken. The article is called Why Record-Breaking Overnight Temperatures Are So Concerning. Nights are warming faster than days across most of the U.S. with potentially deadly consequences.
Well, that's the idea is this, is that like even on a hot day, typically once the sun is down, it cools off. But under these new conditions, these like high pressure systems that are just sitting over areas for weeks and weeks and weeks, there's nowhere for the heat to escape and there's no cool air to replace it. And so it just sits there and gets hotter. It's like an oven.
Yeah, the heat domes. Yeah,
Yep.
That's basically what a lot of the countries facing, especially the Western U.S. right now.
Yeah.
Like, actually, your neck of the woods, Paul, Fresno said that they were probably going to break records there as well. I mean, it's
Dude,
crazy.
it's been horrible here. Horrible.
I'm sure. I mean, like everything. Like I think I took a look at the forecast for that area, obviously, because we're going there, and I was like, I was like, oh my God. It is. I mean, at least at night, it looks like there it's gonna be like the 60s. I was like, okay, well that's gonna be nice. But during the day, it's like double that. Just double it. You got the fucking.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
We're turning
man.
into Venus, basically, is what's going on.
We're heading to Venus.
We're just turning into a Venus-like fucking planet where it's not going to sustain life. Just going to live in
And
a
as
fucking...
we know, Venus is thriving right now.
live in a miasmic fucking fog of toxic gas where everyone's fucking boiling.
Everyone's got to live below the surface. Subterranean humans, dude.
Yeah, we're be like subterranean creatures, like trying to use caves to escape the heat.
At one point, humans lived on the surface. Come on, grandfather, that's not possible. It's true.
The surface is uninhabitable, old man.
And no one could ever have lived on the surface. Are you insane?
We have always been cave-dwelling creatures, father.
We get to go back to the cave. Humanity's next act. Back to the fucking caves. Hey, caves are a consistent temperature too, though, so.
Dude, this fucking German show I've been watching, I know we're almost done with this Grease Trap. This German show I've been watching, Dark, is the most fucking hard to follow show I've ever fucking tried to watch.
So why are you watching it?
I have no idea. I'm still waiting. It's like a mystery show. So it's like, it involves like a time portal that like connects 3 different points in time. But then so they have like 1 million characters, right? There's like so many characters. They all have like weird little relationships and connections with each other that you have to memorize all the relationships and connections of like a cast of like fucking 30 characters or some shit. And then they have all of those. They have like 3 different time periods. So there's like younger versions of the characters and older versions of the characters, and there's also people who are discovering this time thing and traveling through. So sometimes the older version of the character is an anachronism in like the 1953 setting, and this and that. So it's like, I was just like, wait, so that person's supposed to be, but that person's from there, and that person's
don't fuck with
that
time
person's
travel, dude.
cousin, and then that person knows that person from
Nah, dude, don't fuck with time travel.
And then you have to also remember that events from the future can reverse causally affect things in the past. So causality goes both ways in the show. And the show basically like feeds you information at like the most slow snail's pace possible. Actually, it bombards you with information, but the information you want, it just doles out like, all right, here's your actually relevant fact that might give you some clue as to what's going on here. See you again with one of those, midway through the next episode, which is an hour long a piece. It's like, okay.
What are the reviews on the show?
I mean, it's like really critically it's like really well done. It's like a pretty well done show, but it's fucking so convoluted and crazy and confusing because there's so many things I'm trying to remember at any given time and hold in my head while I'm trying to unravel the mystery of what the fuck is going on. Like, if you ask me, I'm like a little bit into the 2nd season of the show, and if you ask me what the fuck is happening in the show, like, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know what's happening. It's like the mystery is being unraveled super slowly.
Dazzle with brilliance or baffle with bullshit.
That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting to see, like, are you guys going to pay this off or not?
Is it finished?
No. It's still going.
See, dude, you're fucking yourself up the ass.
I'm fucking myself in the ass on this
because
one.
they're going to cancel it before they explain a fucking thing, and you're just going to have wasted like 6 seasons of mystery.
What I realized is I'm basically watching like Twin Peaks or something where they're not going to fucking ever fucking
well, that's the thing is like
Lost or something where they're never going to fucking pay it off all the way.
Dude, Twin Peaks isn't about paying off anything though, and it never tries to be. Twin Peaks is literally about having this overarching narrative, but defying it constantly, like bringing spirituality into it and having ghosts show up and having all this crazy shit impinge on the real world, but keeping this very real world thread of like investigating the murder of a young girl.
Right.
This is not that. You're telling me that you're watching a show that literally leaps between 3 time periods and the characters, a cast of 30 of them that you have to memorize, jump through the portals and appear in different time periods, and you're supposed to figure out and suss out why. That's not Lynch.
No, this is like, there is an overarching sort of narrative about like the investigation of these missing children in every 33 years. But there's no like, you don't know what the fuck is going on. Like,
what does that have to do with what you see in the average episode?
Oh, I mean, like, it's definitely ties in, but like, you never get answers. Like, it's always like, they feed you like,
it's a gamble.
Like you
I
kind
feel like that's a gamble.
Okay, so at this
is the
point,
payoff gonna
here's what I know about the missing children.
is the payoff gonna be worth it?
The missing children have something to do with how the time travel shit operates. They're like brought into this weird room with this hideous wallpaper, and they're like, there's a TV that only plays like shit from the 80s. And they're like, there's this weird like electric chair looking device with this like thing that like goes over your eyes, and these kids' bodies are found with their fucking eyes burnt out and their eardrums exploded, right? But whoever is responsible for this, which it seems to be this weird priest named Noah and his little sidekick who's named Helga but is a man, they're the ones who are somehow responsible for these kids disappearing. It's not it's not been explained why they're abducting these kids or what this machine actually does, but they capture these kids. They'll like take a kid from like 2019, take him to this room, do whatever the fucking machine does that fucking blacks their eyes out and explodes their eardrums, and then they'll take the kid's body and like dump it in like 1953 and be like, ha ha ha, because there's no way they're gonna solve that forensically.
So Looper.
Right. So they have like the Looper element going on there, but that's not even really a major element of the fucking show, to be honest with you. Like that's just like a little throwaway thing.
That seems like it's the crux of it, right?
Show.
The guy's killing children in all across time and
it's
then dumping
really
them in
not
different time frames.
Yeah, but that's really not. Oh, and now at this point, by the way, they've added a fourth timeline that's the future, where like some kind of apocalyptic event that hasn't yet been explained has happened, and people are like being like cannibalizing each other. And
Is
there's
it
like
the Rainmaker?
a nuclear power plant where there's like this like singularity that's opened up that's like people there call God and shit, and it's like I don't know. There's all kinds of wacky shit going on in this show.
Sounds like some German bullshit.
And I'll tell you what, because it's German, this is me fucking once again pretending I know Germany just because I saw a show. But like, I've watched an entire season plus of this show. I don't think I've seen a character smile in the entire fucking show.
They don't.
They're just like,
They don't have fun in Germany.
no. I get that. I see
Not
it.
unless they're drunk.
They fuck a lot in the show, but
Do they drink a lot?
Not really, but they do fuck a lot. But every time two people fuck in the show, it's always like depressed fucking, and it's always like bleak, and it's always like someone who's fucking is like shouldn't be for some reason, like they're having an affair, or like this person doesn't realize that they're this person's aunt because actually her brother got lost in the time dilution and fathered that person. So
I'll tell you, all
there's
the
like
Germans,
unwitting incest going on.
all the
and,
Germans
like,
I've ever met in real life have just been very serious, matter of fact, like very philosophical people that just don't seem to ever really want to have that much fun unless they're drunk. They
I
get
don't
drunk.
know I don't know if I recommend this show or not. I guess I'll fucking tell you after 3 seasons, I'll have some idea what the fuck is
Whether
going on.
you recommend it or not, I'm gonna wait to see if it wraps up before I watch a fucking
be like,
second of it. Because if you,
I'll tell you what,
dude, I got
it
cut
is a
by
brilliant
show
fucking
once,
show.
never again. Never
It is
again
a
will I
brilliant
get cut
show,
by a
but
show.
it kind of depends on whether or not it actually has something to tie all this together, or if it's just fucking with me.
Dude,
'Cause I think it's just
Deadwood-
fucking with me, maybe.
I was in love with Deadwood. Watched it as it came out. Was fucking in love with that show. It was just getting to like really good in season 4, and then like canceled.
Yeah, we don't like this anymore.
And I was like,
they
oh
give you
my
a movie.
fucking God, dude, we don't get to see what happened with fucking Hearst. We don't get to see what happened with this. Fuck you, HBO. And then we had to wait 10 years to get Deadwood the movie with all the decrepit. I mean, it was fun, but it's just basically like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm Doc Cochran. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? It's like, all right,
the
everybody's
conceit of the
ancient
Deadwood
now, I
movie
get
was
it.
weird too, because it was almost like the conceit of the Deadwood movie was almost like everything just kind of was put on pause for a few years in
10.
Deadwood.
Literally
Right.
10 years, a decade.
Right.
All the drama gets put on pause, and then the movie picks up just as people decide, you know what? That shit would happen 10 years ago. It's time to find some closure, you know?
Finally.
Yeah, it's like
all
what?
of these like different threads, which I understand what he was trying to do. Like
Sure.
David Milch was trying to do a fan pleaser film that did what we were all denied and tied up the loose ends of Deadwood.
Sure, and I'm glad he did it, because it's it's
It's
nice to
pretty
have that
good
closure
still.
and
I mean, all the actors in it are really good, but I mean, it is
I was
funny.
I was kind of sad to see that we only get sickly what's his fucking name?
Cy Tolliver.
No.
Because he was dead before they did the movie.
Yeah. But I mean, like the sickly guy, like the main guy, almost.
The sickly
Swearingen.
guy?
Yeah, Swearingen's all
Al
fucking.
Swearingen.
Al Swearingen's all sickly throughout the movie. Like you never get to see him at his like.
Well, yeah, because the dude that plays him is fucking old as fuck.
Yeah. But like they literally have him just be like, I'm sick and old, and I think he dies at the end. It's kind of ambiguous, but
He does.
they never actually outright show like he's dead now, but they kind of strongly imply he's dead. So
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if he's alive, I mean, like, oh, okay.
don't you have a question you want to ask, Paul?
Hey,
Is that a grease trap?
I think it is.
Okay.
is it?
I think it is.
Is it
It
a
is.
grease? It's okay. It's
We're free. We're free.
fuck you all! We're free.
Free at last.
Oh,
free
shit,
at last.
it's over already, right? Oh
No,
it's
no.
not.
Should I
Oh,
stop
I meant
it?
I didn't mean. I took all. I take
Yeah.
all that back.
Scotty was just joking, everybody. Anyway, bye.
Fuck you!
Big fat pride.